Good afternoon. Welcome back. It is Friday, December 8th, 2023. Completed our first full week of December here. Had a lot going on this week. That's why we're coming at you just a little bit later today. And we have a few birthdays to talk about, a few events. And we're going to start back in 1968 for a non-snowball derby race. Montgomery Speedway in Alabama. Bobby Allison won the Cup Series race, then Grand National Series. This would have counted for the second race of the 1969 season, so we're still dotting the schedule with a few of those late calendar races that roll into the next racing season. We do have two Snowball Derbies to talk about. 1991 on this date, Rich Bickle wins the Snowball Derby. That's when it was part of the NASCAR All-Pro Series. And in 2013, Eric Jones wins the Snowball Derby. So, first two birthdays I'm going to talk about. First one I didn't get a year on, and the second one I did. I do have cards of both of these guys, but right now, incredibly busy, and I could not find them. So, born on this day in 1940, kind of a protege of A.J. Foyt, if you can call it that. Drove for him for many years in the Indy 500, Mr. George Snyder, legendary sprint car and dirt car driver all across the land. Then our second birthday is a NASCAR-related but not NASCAR driver. He is the son of a Hall of Famer, grandson of a Hall of Famer, but he's a baseball player, and that would be Zachary Jarrett. I don't have a birthday, and I do have a card of him somewhere. I just don't know where I put it at. So anyway, to the birthdays that we have cards of. This next birthday, is the son of a Hall of Famer, brother of a Hall of Famer, born on this day in 1969. Raced most of his career in the Xfinity Series, did make a few stops in the Truck and in the Cup Series. Mr. Kerry Earnhardt. Of course, he is the father of Jeffrey. You see a good look at one of the Fitz Bradshaw cars that he drove in the then Busch Series. Had a few good runs. He also won a few ARCA races. That would be the Kannapolis Intimidators car. There's the Bass Pro. He was one of many Bass Pro drivers of the era. Of course, you had like MTJ and Tony Stewart and Austin Dillon and so many more that have carried the Bass Pro branding. Here's another good look at that Fitz Bradshaw car. And he did win the pole for the truck race in 2005. That Billy Ballou Motorsports. They always had fast trucks. So next on our list, this guy's sure to be a Hall of Famer. I believe he's got 18 wins. He's a Daytona 500 winner, multiple pole positions, defending SRX champion and Purdue graduate, born on this day in 1977, Mr. Ryan Newman. So, a lot of accolades for him. Former Rookie of the Year in 2002. And he really just kind of rose up really quickly there in the early 2000s. Of course, driving those potent Penske Fords and then Dodges. Then he kind of had some rough spells there. Moved to Stewart-Haas for a minute. Went to Richard Childress for a bit. Then to Jack Roush. Had that horrible crash at Daytona in 2020. And then last year ran a handful of races for Rick Ware Racing. Not sure what Ryan's going to do this upcoming year. Bit of a chameleon of drivers. He's one of the many chameleon, what we call chameleon. Of course, it says it on the car. That's Carmeleon. But a chameleon changes colors a lot. Not necessarily mean changes teams, but he did have a lot of sponsors and a lot of paint schemes on those teams that he drove for. A very nice looking Army car there. We have that Tornadoes. There's that Caterpillar, very iconic. And I like this because they use the old font, the original RCR number font. We have a camo paint scheme there for the Army car. A throwback to Mark Martin, and of course that one is just kind of hideous looking in my worldview. Then our final birthday, no doubt, will also be a Hall of Famer, former Daytona 500 winner, former Rookie of the Year, but he is not an SRX champion. But he is a former Cup Series champion. Born on this day in 1975, recently retired Mr. Kevin Harvick. So, of course, Kevin, we all know about how he got his Cup start after Dale's passing there in 2001. But he was already on the fast track because he was winning in the Busch Series at the time for RCR. Fast-tracked up to Cup, raced for Childress for a great many years, switched to Stewart-Haas. Hard to believe all them races. He's like Jeff Gordon. He's only used 2 car numbers in all them starts. Jimmy Johnson only used 2 car numbers. So it's kind of cool. Dale Jr. only used 2 car numbers in their Cup Series. So it's kind of cool. He kind of falls into that, you know, brand identity, number identity. Then goes out with Stuart Haas, wins a title, makes a lot of playoff appearances, wins a lot of races. There's a good look at the Shell Pennzoil car that he ran. Probably that might be Sterling Marlin there on the bottom, or it could be David Stremme. Probably David Stremme since that's '07. Always like those shots. There's a good look at the Hunt Brothers Pizza. There's one of the Goodwrench cars. He ran a handful of those paint schemes. There's one with a couple more. But anyway, sorry about this coming out late, and I wanted to rapid fire through this, get this out to you, so I didn't go through as near many cards as I normally would have. But if you've seen how many cards that I had to go through, you would understand why. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you tomorrow.